Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today I am proud to finally review a fragrance from the house of Annick Goutal. I have been around this house for a while now. I've just never really taken notice to it. I mean, whenever I'm looking for creeds, I see this house all the time. Just never paid attention, but I'm finally here. Alright? The fragrance I'm going to review today is from, again, House of Annick Goutal, and the fragrance is called Nuit Etoilee. Now, Nuit Etoilee, um, I decided on this fragrance just because I've had this fragrance in my arsenal for a while now, and I've got a bunch of stuff, and I finally got around to, spraying it around. Now, I should talk about the bottle first and foremost. Now, there are three different versions. First off, this is the EDT that I am reviewing. There's an EDT and there's an EDP. Both are priced the same at $115 for, I believe it's 100 milliliters, but there are two different bottles for the EDT. There is a more of a circular bottle, which is the feminine version, and there's a square bottle, which is the male version. Both of these are the exact same juice, they just come in different bottles. And there's also a circular version, an EDT, which is a clear bottle instead of the blue bottles that you see for the EDT. So there's those distinctions, keep those in mind if you're interested in purchasing this fragrance. Now, as I mentioned, it comes in one main size. It's $115 for, I believe it's 100 milliliters, but I could be a little bit off about that because I saw a couple other testers. But either way, that's the price range that you're going to pay for this. So it's in the niche range, but it's really not that expensive when you really think about other niche fragrances wise. So $115, $115, not a bad deal. All right, so with that, let's get right into the notes of the fragrance. The notes of this fragrance consist of, at our top, we've got citron, orange, and mint. For our mid, we have pine tree and fir tree. And for our base, we have immortelle, tonka bean, and angelica. All right, so what do you get when you smell this fragrance? Immediately when I sprayed it, it reminded me of another fragrance, another niche fragrance that's been on my list as well, and that's Enchanted Forest. I wanted to say that it had like this berry-like feel, but it's not the berries that I'm actually smelling in this. It's the citron. The citron, in most cases, I actually don't like citron, but in this one, it works really well, and it mixes really well with the mint. It's like citron and mint, and it smells delicious. It's one of those scents that I borderline characterize as a gourmand scent, but it's not really a gourmand. At the same time, it does remind me of, minty alcoholic drinks. So when I say minty alcoholic drinks, I'm thinking of things like mojitos, mint juleps. We're talking about those kind of scents that this comes off on the top. Now, as the scent kind of develops a little bit more, you start to get more of, a piney smell coming from the pine tree, and then it starts to kind of remind me of a Christmas tree. I love pine trees. I love the smell of Christmas, and this one is no exception. It kind of smells like a Christmas tree mixed with a mint julep thrown on top of it, or doused in mojito goodness or anything like that. That's kind of what this really reminds me of. Christmas trees and mojitos put together. I know that sounds really weird, but I actually really do like the smell. And the scent, kind of goes off. As it gets to the dry down, you get a little bit of sweetness coming in from the tonka bean, but outside of that, that's really what I'm getting from this scent. I go about 4 sprays on this. I go a little bit more liberal because it's a little bit on the lighter side. Season-wise, I think this is a good fragrance to wear for any season. It's light enough to wear in the summer, and it's heavy enough to wear in the winter. It kind of straddles that line for it. Occasion-wise, I don't think that's very versatile in terms of occasion. I think this is a good casual scent, but outside of that, there aren't any other real scenarios that I can see this wearing. It's a little bit too sweet for work. It's a little bit not as serious for a date fragrance, and not as, I guess you could say, it doesn't really fit a night out fragrance. So outside of casual, not really many scenarios where I can really see people wearing this one. It is more of a scent for older gentlemen, older people, so if you're have a little bit more of a mature vibe, take a look at this scent. It might do you well. Or it might do you well. Performance-wise, I do get good performance for this one. I'm talking about anywhere between 8 and 12 hours is what I'm getting from this scent, which is good since it has more of a citrusy vibe on the top, and it has a citrusy vibe that kind of remains throughout the fragrance. So, as many of you know, or who are familiar with fragrances know, citruses tend not to last a good amount, but this one kind of retains it, and it might be because of that citron scent, which is a little bit different from other citruses that are out there. As far as compliments goes, this one unfortunately didn't get me that many compliments. Actually, it didn't give me any compliments at all. I had people smell it afterwards, and it was about average. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I really suspect that it is that citron note that's causing that dislike. You either like it or hate it. Sometimes I think one person on the negative side said that it kind of reminded them of bug spray, or not necessarily bug spray. It was bug repellent. That's what I'm trying to think of. That you spray on your skin and it keeps the mosquitoes away, or mosquito repellent. All right. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating a 7 out of 10. At the end of the day, I really do like this fragrance. I think that it's a very unique smelling citrus scent that has that minty vibe, and I'm a sucker for mint fragrances. Right off the bat, this is going to get a pretty good rating from me on that aspect. It's, again, a scent that I really love. I think it's on the less expensive route for niche fragrances, but it still will cost you a little bit of a penny. So for that reason, I'm kind of knocking it down a little bit. Knocking it down because it's not really a scent that many other people are going to like. Again, it's one that I more like than other people do like. But I do think that if you do end up liking this scent, and at the end of the day, Christmas trees and mojitos kind of put together sounds weird. A lot of people do think that it is weird. But if you can pull it off, you will go nuts with this one. All right? So let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you've tried this, let me know if there are any other Annick Goutal fragrances that you're interested in hearing about. I've got a lot of those fragrances to get through, and it'll be interesting. All right? Thank you. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day.